So throughout our session, I will strive to express the ideas clearly, and I will engage you in meaningful discussions and will ensure a smooth flow of information. So let's keep the environment focused, minimizing any kind of distractions to make the most out of our time together. I hope it is fine for you all. So today it is hardly a demo of 1 hour of session. So if you get to know more about the things, whatever we are going to learn, so it would be easy for you guys to understand what exactly we are going to learn in the upcoming sessions. Okay. And one more thing, I'll promise you that this won't be a typical boring lecture. And I will guarantee you that you will leave here with a whole new perspective on limitless possibilities and job opportunities about the generative AI that can offer in the market. Okay. So, yeah, that's all about from my side, first of all, about me and all. And before we dive into this technical understanding, so let's get to know each other a bit so that I will get to know what kind of the tech stack that you are coming from and what is your overall experience. So that would help me to improve, to make me understand from where should I start and how can I explain you the concepts. I know most of you are must be already familiar. Yes, great, great. Okay. All right. I know most of you must be using. That's great. It's clear that most of you are already familiar with this chat GPT, right? So here, why there's so much of hype in the generative AI? Before we getting into all this technical understanding, I really want to provide you the high level information why there is so much of hype in the market. So the demand for this skilled generative AI data scientist in the market. So, and at our institute, we are at the forefront of this revolution, empowering the next generation of tech pioneers. So and now I will just give you a high level information. So today, whatever we are going to discuss, as I mentioned, it's just about the demo session, right? So I will give you a clear information and what actually the companies are looking for and why the companies are searching for a talent who is having the generative AI skills. But first, let me ask you a question. So, do you dream of landing your job and making the significant impact in the artificial intelligence and generative AI? How you guys are feeling? Wonder. I know most of you must be aware that that is where you guys are here, that the generative AI is doing wonders. So, here today, I will show you on how you can unlock the doors for this particular generative AI. And again, as I mentioned, most of the companies today are not just searching for the individuals who can write the code or understand the complex algorithms. So they are on the lookout for something more, something extraordinary. They want individuals who possess the unique blend of creativity as well as innovation. It's not only about one thing. They are looking for the talents. A code can, if you ask me, like, hey, I'm having some fear about the coding. I'm not good at working with the coding part. I'm really not good at writing the code. Don't worry. Code can be written by any other way. There are so many AI tools in today's market. If not you, some other person also will write. But how I will explain. But that at the end, the companies are looking for not only the talents of having, like, the coding skills. It's all about searching for the individuals who are actually good at understanding the problem solving skills and encouraging the innovation and embracing the change and also the multiple case studies for their company and for their workaround. So they are trying to understand, they are seeking the generative AI engineers who can push boundaries, challenges, and then start the queue by bring fresh perspective to the table. So when I say fresh perspective, every other organization in this today's market is working with the AI skills. So where is the difference comes in between the AI and generative AI? So as you all know, AI is now a traditional approach and generative AI is an advancement into it. So when I say AI, the artificial intelligence, it is combination of data science, natural language process, and deep learning and generative AI. All together combiningly, we can say the artificial intelligence. But what is the difference comes in here? So where are we getting into the difference? So let me share a screen for you. Just a moment. Okay. So I can you guys confirm me if you guys can see my whiteboard here?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, great. Okay. So when I say data science, the traditional AI approach, what we generally do as a data scientist, let's say, okay, so if you are telling that, hey, I'm not coming from the data science, I'm really not sure what exactly a data science. In simple words, I can tell you. Let's say what a data, ignore my spelling mistakes. So what a data scientist will do generally. So first of all, if you are getting into a designation of the data science, generally a data scientist will get the data and feed it to the model, telling that, hey, go and learn this particular thing, whatever I am feeding you now. And based on the learning data, whatever I am going to ask, I want you to answer my query. That is what a traditional data scientist will do. Okay. So forget about all this. I will tell you a simple question. So let's say you are interacting with a 4 years old child, or let's say, for example, a 3 years old child, let's say, okay, whatever the data science, you can consider it as a 3 years old child. So whenever initially, let's say this little girl was taught by her mom, if somebody is coming and asking, what is your name? Okay, if someone comes and asking this query, he is expected to provide the answer as Anya. Let's say, for example, this is what her mom told. Okay, so in this situation, she is just 3 years old. Whatever her moms provide as an input, the baby will start learning those things. And in case if somebody is coming and asking, what is your age or how old are you? If somebody asking this query, he's supposed to answer 3 years old. Okay, only these all are the two things that this little girl know about in fact. If in case somebody comes in and asks one more question, what is your mom name, or what is your dad name, or where are you studying, let's say, for example. So this little girl, now I am taking the queries, the data as this. So this is going to be the data for this model, whatever the queries that we raised here. And now this is going to be the answer. Just a moment. So for the queries, whatever someone is going to ask, she's supposed to answer this. But unexpectedly, someone comes in and asking, what is your school name? Okay. This girl got confused and she is really not sure what should I answer at this moment. So what she will tell at this moment, she may comes in and tell, I don't know, or she may tell she keeps on repeating the answers, whatever she's aware of or whatever her mom told us, right? So that's what exactly a traditional data science will do. So whatever the data that you are feeding to the models, whatever the 3 years old child here, he start recognizing the things and remembering the answers, whatever her mom taught to us, right? So the same way, when we are feeding the data to the model or the machine will start remembering the things with its intelligence. It will try to answer the queries based on whatever we are asking. In case if the model is having the provided query in its input, or if it is having the relevant information to that query, the model may try to answer as per the expectation. If not, the model may confuse and may provide the nonsensical answers also sometimes. So that is what exactly a traditional data science model will do. Okay, so let me take one more example. Now I want you guys to provide me the information about it. Let's say, for example, you guys want to buy a house, Hyderabad location, let's say, for example. Okay, so can you guys tell me? So, what all are the features that you will look into when you want to buy a house? So, guys, let's make it as an interactive session so that you guys also can indulge in all these things. Okay. So, just tell me, if you want to buy a house, see, it's not restricted to Hyderabad. I'm just giving you an example. You guys can tell me, in case if you want to buy a house, what all the features that you guys will look into? Can someone, anyone can mention it in a chat window? Perfect. Location, house size. That is super. Okay, let me write it here. And what else you guys will look? Price, balcony. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Whatever you guys have mentioned, it is perfect. Now let me tell you more information. Okay, so the individuals have their individual perspective. Somebody will look into the location, and somebody will look into the size of the house, and somebody may look into how many number of bedrooms, right? And somebody may look into what are the different amenities that they are providing. It depends on the individuals, right? So these all are the factors that we will consider. So how you guys are understanding that, okay, in case if I want to buy a house, I want to have this information clearly, because you are familiar with this thing, that in order to buy a house, these all are the factors impact on the price. So let's say our target variable is to understand the price of a house. So I'm removing it from here. And now I am telling house at Hyderabad price prediction. This is what my requirement. Now, if I want to buy a house in Hyderabad with some particular price, let's say, for example, I want to buy a 2 BHK flat in high-tech city, Gachibowli. Let's say, for example, the cost may varies minimum from 1 crore 20 lakhs. Let's say, for example. Okay. So, this is the price in the location of high-tech city, let's say, for example. If I'm coming and telling with a full of gated community and within the center of the city, which is very near to the office location, you will be getting the house, and it is costing around 1 crore 20 lakhs if I'm telling this information. So, in case, let's say, for example, so, based on the information, whatever I am having, I am telling this information. Let's say now let's consider the area of Secunderabad, let's say, for example. So, what we will feel, maybe in Secunderabad, the cost may ranges from 1 crore onwards. Even you may get it for 80 lakhs also, or 90 lakhs, or 1 crore also. Let's say, for example, next I am coming to Tarnaka location, and I am telling the house price may ranges from minimum 90 lakhs if I'm telling this information. So how I know all this information is that because I have been hearing this from the time I have been living in Hyderabad. So that's where I came to know the prices of the individual locations. Let's say this is not 100% correct, guys. So just giving you the examples. Okay. So if I can come and ask you, hey, can you please tell me what is the price of the house in the Amir Pit? So those who guys are expertise or who guys are living in that particular location, they may provide me the information. But how you are knowing it, as because you are already familiar with the prices, or already you are living there, or some of the other resources, you came to know that this is how the prices are ranging from, right? So now, as a human brain, you are getting the data from the outside world, or some or the other person is providing you the insights about the house prices in the Hyderabad. But now, my duty is to make the model to understand. However, as a human brain, I am thinking that okay, Secunderabad prices are going to be this range. Okay, so Rajesh has mentioned distance from the finance district. That is super cool. Okay, all fine. And security, yeah, those are the factors are very good, really. So I'm just giving you the examples. Whatever you guys all are mentioned, it is perfectly all right. So we consider all these features as an important things to buy a house, and this is what the price is ranging from. So as a human brain, however, I am thinking I want the machine also understand and can predict the future, right? Wherever I'm asking you asking it a query, it should understand, and based on the knowledge whatever it is having. Okay, let me tell you one more thing. So I really don't know what is the price of the area of Uppal metro station nearby locations. Let's say Medipalli. Okay, I am really not sure which is the way towards Infosys campus. I just know that information. Let's say I want to understand the price structure of that particular location. So based on the location, I may tell that maybe there is the price may be ranging between the 80 lakhs to 90 lakhs because it is near to the Uppal or it is near to the Infosys office. Okay, so maybe considering all such kind of features, I'm guessing the price. I'm really not sure about the price. Same likewise, however, we are guessing. The expectation is that the model also should guess the information or the price of a house. In order to get that information, what are we supposed to do? As I mentioned, however, this little child is getting the information from her mama. Same likewise to this model, you supposed to provide the data. Like whatever the features or whatever the fields that you are feeling as an important, whether if it is of the location or number of bedrooms or house size or balcony or security or even the distance from the finance district or whatever it is. So you will have to feed the data to the model, so that, let's say for example, I provided the example of 1,000 records. When I say 1,000 records, it is nothing but 1,000 different house prices in the locations, let's say, for example. So that the model will start learning or understanding these 1,000 records, first of all. So let's say the first one is telling 2 BHK and it is telling the house price is, sorry, the SFT of area is, let's say, for example, 1,200 SFT, and it is very near to finance district or Gachibowli or high tech city, whatever it is. Now, the cost they are telling is 1 crore 20 lakhs. Okay. So now let's say there is a second house. The house size is only 1,000 SFT. Okay. But it is also in the same location that they are quoting 1 crore 10 lakhs, let's say. Okay. And there is a other house which is of 1,500 SFT. Let me write it down. Now I want you guys to predict the price here on the understanding. Just a generalized information case, not to test anyone. It's just a generalized information. Okay. 1,200 SFT is 1 crore 20 lakhs they are quoting, and 1,000 SFT they are quoting 1 crore 10 lakhs, let's say. And then if I'm coming and telling you the SFT area is 1,500, can you guys tell me what would be the house price here? Approximately. See, it is not 100% accurate we are expecting, but what is the appropriate house price here? Perfect. 1.4 or 1.15, Abhishek. Okay. So 1.5, that's perfect. So how you guys are getting? So expected answer maybe lies in between 1.45 to 1.5. Most of the people are telling. But how you guys are telling? Because if it is of 1,200 means it is ranging from 1 crore 20 lakhs. Now, I said this is the same location, and now I increased the SFT area. And now you guys are understanding that it should never go less than 1 crore 20 lakhs, and it should be more than 1.2 crore. That is sure thing, right? So that's where you guys are, most of the team is guessing that the house ranges from 1.45 to 1.5. That's what exactly the expectation from the traditional data science model. That is where, in order to ensure that the model is understanding the things and predicting something out of it. Like, however, as a human brain, you guys are understanding. That is what exactly we have to feed it to the model. Just a moment. Sure. Yeah. Sorry, guys. So, in order to ensure that however you guys are understanding the prediction of the house, we want to ensure that the model is also understanding the same. To perform that, we are feeding this kind of the data to the model so that the model will start learning the same exact thing. And in future, if I'm coming and asking a query, what is the 1500 SFT area? The house will predict that may ranges between the 1.4 to 1.5. That is what exactly a traditional data science model will do. That is what exactly a traditional data scientist will feed to the model. He or she will feed the data to the model so that the model will undergo the training process, and based on the input data whatever has been trained, the model will start predicting it. That's where it performs exactly like a human. You might be wondering, so how accurate the model is actually? Yes, it is not 100% accurate because still it is learning and it may not predict 100%. That's where, in case if you are getting 85% or 80, 75 to 85% of accuracy, that is actually a wonderful thing, I can tell you. Okay, so now you might be wondering, Array data science model is actually doing very good job and it is thinking exactly like a human. Why are we now trending towards the generative AI? So anyone wants to tell me what is generative AI? Anyone, even if it is of wrong answer, that is still fine. Anyone. So this much of hype before the generative AI used to have the super hype in the market. And that's where the data scientists were earning more when compared to the other technologies. But why there is so much of hype in the generative AI? Anyone wants to answer? Learning self serving. Yes, exactly. So, okay. So, let me give you one example. So, as because from this example, what did you guys understand? We provided some data to the model so that the model started understanding, right? Coming to the generative AI, what happens here? Here also we are considering the traditional model. Let's say I can tell you a data science model. Okay, let's consider the same thing. Here also we are considering the data science model. So here what did I say? We are feeding the relevant data. Let's say 1000 records or 10K records or 50K records or even 5 lakhs or 10 lakh records. Whatever the records that we are feeding here are related to only house price at this moment while we are training the machine learning or traditional data science model, right? Coming to the generative AI, whatever the data that we are feeding to the model, it is about, just imagine, 175 billions of parameters. When I say 175 billions of parameter, this is something from the one whichever you guys are using as a chat GPT. So as you all are aware that how the chat GPT will work, right? So let me do one thing. Okay, so let me open my chat GPT. So now, as you all know, that whatever the questions that you raise to the large language model, okay, so when I say large language model, chat GPT is one of the large language model. Why we are calling it as a large language model? Because It was trained on the huge amount of the data. When I say huge amount of the data, this is 175 billions of parameters were fed to the model for GPT 3.5 Turbo. So this is here, this traditional data science approach, though it was fed with the 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs or 1000 data points, whatever it is all related to only one particular topic so that the model will get expertise into it, and it will start learning all this and then it will predict. But in this case of the data science model, sorry, in this case of generative AI model, I am making it as a generative R LLM model, large language model. This model was fed with the same kind of data, but it not only includes only house price, but includes entire Wikipedia data, entire Wikipedia. When I say entire Wikipedia, whatever you guys are searching. Let's say, for example, if I want to understand what are the roles and responsibilities of the generative AI, or let's say, for example, I want to understand the latest news in the market. Let's say, for example, I want to know who won the IPL match. Let's say, for example, I want to prepare a recipe for vegetable biryani. So what I will do, I will go and search, like, vegetable biryani recipe. I will start searching like that, right? So if I have something in my mind, what I will do, I will start searching in the Google, and it may provide me the some relevant information, whether if it is of the YouTube videos, or if it is of any kind of websites links or whatever it is. So let's say, for example, I feel that this is having the good information, let me click on this and I will load it and I will look into it. That is what, whatever you guys are checking here, whatever the links that you guys are getting here, all this information is completely trained. Even whether you open, even here also you will get the same kind of link. So all this information was fed to this large language model. So that's where whatever the question that you are asking, the model will never say no. Let's say, for example, I'm asking a query. Can you help me with, otherwise, I can simply give veg biryani recipe. Let's say, for example, oh, sorry, ignore my spelling mistake. So, if I'm asking the same query, it will start providing the same information. Can you all see this? So, I means it is customized. Let's say, for example, I want to tell the specifications also. It should not be spicy, and I want more paneer, let's say, for example. Okay. So if I can customize, if I can ask this kind of customized question, again, it will start understanding more and it will provide you the more information. If you can go and ask this query, I want more paneer and more, what to say, if it should not be spicy. So what do you get the relevant information in the Google? Sometimes yes, sometimes may not get, right? So means if you want to customize your query, the model may even able to perform, but in the Google you cannot do that. Now I'm going to ask, can you please summarize? Otherwise, okay, forget about this. Now we are done, we are having the customized answer of preparing of the veg biryani. That is super cool. Now I am going to ask one more question. Can you please suggest me a medicine for headache? I'm asking, okay, I'm asking this query. Again, the model will start providing the information. You can see it is providing these many answers. Now, that's super cool. I'm loving it. Now, the next query I'm asking, write a Python code to build a machine learning model. Again, I'm asking this query. The model will start providing the information. See, it started generating the code also. Now I'm going to ask one more question. Wo- Tell me a joke on ChatGPT. Let's say, for example, now you guys can see. See, whatever the question I'm asking, it is capable enough to answer. Why it is able to answer for everything? Because It was trained on the huge volumes of the data where it was not restricted to one single field. It was trained on the huge amount of the data from the internet Wikipedia. It understands what is the meaning of the joke. It understands what is the meaning of the seriousness. It understands what is the meaning of the writing a code, or even it understands when I say, can you help me with the medicine for this particular thing? Whatever the question you raise, it will understand just because it was trained on the huge amount of the data. So that's where for the question, whether if it is of the medicine or if it is of the joke or if it is of, code, it is able to answer everything from the provided information, right? So that's where the generative AI is now doing wonders in the market. That is what every other organization wants to take the advantage of it. As because in this case, whatever in the traditional data science, what we are doing, we are collecting the data, we are feeding it to the model, and model will start learning it, and then the model will start providing the answers for our queries. But with this generative AI models, as because these models are already pre-trained. When I say pre-trained, this model, this GPT-3, this is the GPT 3.5. Actually, we are now using the GPT 4.0. This is of the free for some limited amount of information. But generally, we are using this now, right? So basically, GPT 3.5 Turbo is free of cost. You can use it for any kind of information, right? So, as because the model was already pre-trained with a huge amount of the internet Wikipedia data, you no need to train the model from the scratch like this in order to price the house price. Whatever you are doing, you're feeding the data to the model. You no need to do that. So that's where companies are taking the advantage of the pre-trained model to build their workaround. Whether you can use the API key or whether you can use it as a transformer model, whatever it is, we are simply getting the API key from the websites and we are making use of that particular API to build our own application. When I say our own application, let's say you are working in a retail domain, okay? Otherwise, let's say you're working in a healthcare department. So I'm having a requirement where my team, let's say, I work on the claims part, let's say, for example. So what my team will do is that initially they used to get the emails, let's say, for example, okay? So from the customers, hey, I want to take this insurance policy, and let's say, for example, I want to understand the pricing structure of this particular insurance policy. Or let's say, for example, there is an email telling that, hey, I recently got married, I want to add my wife to this insurance policy. Let's say, for example, such kind of information. Hey, recently I visited a hospital, but as per my understanding, I supposed to get the claim, but the claim was not initiated. Can you please help me with this? Such kind of emails that you get on a day-to-day basis. Let's say, for example. So now, so what my team is doing that they are manually extracting the emails, telling that which all emails comes under the brokerage emails, which all comes under the new additions or something like that. They're segregating manually. So now, for them, in order to get this done to each email, they are spending at least, in order to perform the segregation process, it will undergo three different stages. First of all, email comes into the shared mailbox, then it will be addressed by the relevant team, and then it can be processed by the replay. Let's say, for example, okay, so this is what happens in the day-to-day activities. In order to get this done, just a moment, guys. In order to get this done, what my team is doing that they are taking approximately around 2 days to get it done or to get the claim settled. That is the minimum SLA. Okay. So by using the large language model, we as a data scientist or we as a generative AI engineer, what we did is that we automated this process. Means what we did here, We provided this data to the large language model. Let's say, for example, I am telling, okay, forget about this email configuration. Let's say, for example, I want to initiate the information. For example, when I say extract the information, first of all, let me give you one example. Okay, let's say, for example, in order to clarify or segregate these emails, I want to understand the information. Let's say, first of all, I want to extract the individual's information. Let's say, for example, name, place, and all these things. Let's say I am having this information with me. President Joe Biden met with the Prime Minister Boris Johnson to discuss the current. It is not about the emails, guys. Forget about that. In that requirement, let's say, first of all, I want to extract the relevant information. So let's say this is my requirement. In order to perform this task, if my requirement is to extract the information from the provided textual data, so what my team used to do, first of all, they will send this information to the relevant team. The team will understand this, and they will extract the information telling them, okay, this email is from this particular Ukraine, and it contains the people, like, President Joe Biden, and also the uh, whoever is Minister Boris, Prime Minister Boris Johnson. So, okay, so these two are the persons present in this mail textual information, and the email location. I mean, they are looking for the particular location of Ukraine and also NATO. Okay, so this kind of segregation may take around, they will take SLA of 1 day in order to segregate this information. But right now, by using the generative AI, I can provide this information simply, and I can simply ask, hey, can you please extract the names of, or you can simply say, names of people mentioned in the about text. If I'm asking this query, hardly it will take seconds. Now you guys can see. Now I'm going to ask places. Can you all see this? It is providing the answer within fraction of seconds, like this, whether if it is of the email whatever I mentioned, or whether if it is of the extraction of some information, whatever the team manually is doing, now we are automating it with by using the generative AI. So this is one simple example, guys. Let's say, for example, you are working, I mean, in the US, maybe if you want to get to, I mean, if you want to go to hospital, you, I mean, post the communication, you may get EHR record, right? Electronic health record. So what the doctor prescription contains, it may contains around 10 to 20 pages. And then after you may start initializing the claim from your vendor, right? So in order to process that information, so how much time the claim provider will take? Around approximately 1 week, or let's say 5 days. So now that process, whatever it is happening manually, we can automate that process also, whether if it is of the extraction of the field or claim processing, or whatever it is. All these processes, whatever we are doing with this generative AI models, it is now automated. So now this performance, whatever my team used to do, let's say, for example, house price prediction only, if I can tell this, if I have to feed this to my model will start understanding and then provide the information, I said, right? So in order to get this entire process done, I may approximately take around 3 months of time to complete this task. But now what I will be doing is that I am going here, understand this data, 1 crore 40 lakhs or 45 lakhs. Let's say, for example, I am telling this, and also 900 SFP. I am telling 1 crore 5 lakhs. Let's say, for example, I'm telling this data to the model, and now I am asking what is the cost of 1800 SFT. Okay. First, I'm telling understand this data, and now tell me the price of 1800 SFT. Oh, it is started. It started doing the machine learning directly. Okay, so let's see the output anyways. It is still doing the analysis. Can you all see? It is telling 1.63 crores. See, this is the code of analysis and the results. Now you guys can tell me how beautiful it is and how much time we took for this to get it done. How much time we took for this to get it done? Hardly like seconds, right? Now you are having the answer in front of you, right? Perfect. Hardly 5 seconds. That's what a generative AI is doing. That's where companies wants to increase the productivity. It's not only in this one particular field. It's everywhere. Whether you are coming from the retail domain or you are coming as a fresher or you are coming with an experience or whatever it is, AI is everywhere, even in the banking, even in the healthcare, even in the airlines, wherever you are. Gen AI is changing the market like anything. In order, every other organization is looking to improve their productivity. Obviously, every company wants money. As however, we as a employees, however, we are looking for the hikes from the company. That's why we are switching the organization. We are improving the technology and all these things. Same likewise, companies also looking for the candidates who can improve their productivity so that they can earn more as a profit. So that's where exactly the companies are looking. So that is what we will have to learn how these models are actually working, what is the backend procedure. So this is what something we are going to understand in our regular day-to-day classes in case if you join in our session. And one more thing I will tell you about the teaching. So, okay, put this technical things aside. So, in our main session, we will not only be, learning from me or like this. So, you will also have the opportunity to collaborate with the fellow participants and engage in hands-on activities and understand the creativity of this generative AI. And one more thing I can tell you, our teaching style is designed to ignite your imagination, and also I can provide you the end-to-end hands-on whatever the techniques that we are learning. This is just an example, guys. I did not even provide you the information. This is whatever I have shown you now is a very simple example. The intricacies behind this, like the technical aspects behind this is something again more different. That is what every other organization is looking for. They want to hire the candidates who understands the behind the scenes, who can build the generative AI for their company. Everyone knows ChatGPT. You might be wondered already. The ChatGPT is there. Why the companies are looking? The ChatGPT is there, but it cannot be visualized or it cannot be utilized by the companies directly. So that's where every company wants to build their own GPT. In order to build their own GPT or bot, you need to understand all these things. So are you able to see my screen? What are the topics here we are going to cover? Can someone please confirm?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much for confirming. So we are going to understand what are the, in order to learn this technology. So we require the NLP, we require the deep learning basics, and also we are going to understand those things, NLP and deep learning basics, and what is the main difference and AI principles, and what are the different generative AI models, and what are the different large language models, and now the prompt engineering, and what is the working procedure of the large language models, and what are the different embeddings and vector databases, and what are the different chunk metrics and drag, advanced drag, langchain, vector databases, llama index, fine tuning, and these all evaluation and LLM ops. These all are the things that we are going to learn in our upcoming session, in case if you are going to join here. For this, any coding knowledge required? Yes, Rajesh, the expectation is to have the Python basics. at least. So in case, I mean, we are providing Python also here along with us. Okay. So this is what all about the curriculum, guys. And yeah,
Yes. Yes. Sorry to interrupt you.
yeah, no worries. Go ahead.
Yeah. What about the opportunities for the experienced people?
Okay, sure. Let me give you a high level info. This even I thought of discussing. So, coming to the salary hikes and also, let me tell you one thing here. Whether you are a fresher or someone looking for the switch, right now, I will give you one example. So, for whatever I have seen in the market, actually, just a moment, just a moment. Okay, sorry. So, okay, let me tell you. As I mentioned, whether you are a fresher or experienced candidates, generative AI is altogether a different game scenario. So, if you are joining as a fresher with the generative AI skill, right now the companies are minimum to minimum is offering 5.5 lakhs as an initial package. Let's say, for example, you are an experienced candidate. Okay, let me give you with my experience. So, I have seen the candidates who all are having, like, 5 years of experience, or no, not even 5 years, I can say 6.5 years the person is having. So right now he was in his data science, and he switched into the generative AI. Right now he is earning 34 lpa as a package, only just with the addition of the generative AI skills. And I have even seen the people who are with the 18 LPA package, and now they are into the 40 LPA also, just because of the generative AI skills. So there is so much of hype in the market. Whether you are coming from, as I mentioned, whether you are from data science or different technology, if you are familiar with this data science skills and all, and if you know how to develop the application, there is a huge demand in the market. Right now every organization wants to get into this particular technology, whether if it is of the banking, healthcare, retail, airlines, whatever the industry it is. Every organization is looking for the generative AI skills, because to improvise their productivity and also to improvise their returns of investment actually. Yes, Tanmaya, I'm going to provide the Python also. Yes,
So,
Pramod, we are having the opportunities for freshers also. Sorry, I think whoever asked me about the experienced person, if you can provide me the more information about your experience, I may assist you in a better way.
yeah, sure. But last one question.
Yes.
Uh, as it is booming, right? But industry can't expect the experienced people in generative AI, right?
No, it will expect
You
the
mean to say
experience.
only knowledge is enough to
Acha,
switch to?
yeah, exactly. So you are talking about the generative AI. Yes, as
Yes, yes,
because
yes.
generative AI started altogether in November 2022. When
Uh,
means it was because of the ChatGPT. ChatGPT was introduced in November 2022. So that's when every industry started exploring how it is going to work. So right now, hardly, I can tell you to be frank, it's a hardly experience of 1 year. So that's where I'm telling, have the knowledge, get one project into your hands on. That is much enough to get into the organization. In this session, whatever I am going to teach you guys, I will be providing practical real world project also, that where industries are actually looking what kind of projects and what is the thing. By in this particular, I mean to say, in our upcoming classes I will be showing that end to end project also. That's enough, the companies will understand. To be frank, I can tell you one more thing. If somebody is coming and telling, hey, I am expert in generative AI, no, don't believe. They are also at the starting stage. This is still booming. There are so many evolvements in the market. Okay, so get the understanding and get the things done. That's enough. One project is enough to change your strategic resume and to get into the market.
yeah,
Okay.
understood.
Yep.
Yeah. So only Python is required. No other
Yeah.
programming language. No.
No, no. Even we are providing the Python programming language also here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more doubts from anyone, you can let me know. So one more thing I can suggest, guys, as I mentioned, coming to the salary hike, it's just a piece of puzzle. I can tell you, companies are actively seeking the generative AI engineers because they bring unique value to the table. So when simple, you can consider the example now in the market. What are the other technology guys are earning, and what are the generative AI skills guys are earning? It is enabled generative AI basically enable the business to enhance creativity and automate the process and make a data driven decisions. It's opened up for new frontiers in the industry as diverse as in every role, whether it is from, whatever the field it is. Everywhere it is changing the technology in the world like anything. And by transitioning into the generative AI, you position yourself as an early adopter. Learn, start now only. Because if you wait for the next 6 months, there are so many people are already in the market who is telling that, hey, I'm expert into the data science. No, nothing expert, I can tell you. Maybe they are also learning because generative AI is very latest in the market, and start immediately and grab the opportunity immediately. Because if you wait for next 6 months, what happens? Already the people will come into the market. Right now the companies are blindly giving the 50 to 70% of a hike. Even if you can ask 100% of hike also they are giving. But after 6 months, right now maybe in the market hardly there are thousands of people, let's say 20,000, 30,000 of the people in the market for the generative AI. If you wait for 6 more months, count will increase to 1 lakh also. At that moment companies will get more candidates. If not you, some other also will take the place. So that's where I'm telling, grab the opportunity at the earliest and start working on it. So hey, hi Kiran. So I am going to explain one end to end industry ready project and one in class project. So means total two projects I will provide, Kiran. So batch timings my team will confirm you, Sarvan. Is data science required for this course? Are you going to take the class? So Tanmaya, yes, data science, as I mentioned, natural language processing, deep learning, and machine learning understanding is must. Along with the Python, we will be providing all these things also, but not in-depth concepts. As I mentioned, whatever is required for the generative AI from the data science perspective, we are teaching all those things in my class. Okay. Yes, I am going to take this class. Yep. So, Kiran, we will be either using the Visual Studio Code or we will be using the Google Colab also. Anything, any which way, I will provide you all the. My team will provide you all the details about this requirement. All right, thanks, Tanmaya. So, any more doubts, anyone? So, as I mentioned, guys, get into the market first. Start working on it. Just explore the market. Just you mentioned the generative AI in your resume, and now you can understand how many calls you are getting in the market. That's where the crazy about this generative AI. I'm not exaggerating, to be frank, I can tell you. Companies are actively looking for the generative AI engineers because they recognize the unique value they bring. Generative AI, as mentioned, it will enable the creativity and automate every other process also. What will generative AI engineer do? Do they need to have business knowledge? No, Ramalakshmi. So, as I mentioned, so whatever the background you are in, so let's say I'm working in the healthcare. Okay. So I worked in multiple domains. So right now, whatever the process that we are automating, I'm to be frank, I'm new to healthcare. Prior to that, I was in banking. So right now, whatever the project we are automating is everything is related to the claims. I do not have the knowledge. Based on the understanding, you will get to know familiar with this. Having the knowledge of the domain is good, but it is not mandatory that you can get into that only once if you are having the business knowledge. No, that's not correct. If you have the technical skills, that's enough, Ramalakshmi. Okay. Would we doing any real-time projects? Chandrasekhar, we are going to do the real-time project in the generative AI by understanding the skills of NLP and deep learning. What is the difference between the generative AI and prompt engineering? That's a good question. So, okay, just give me a moment. Simple. One moment I can explain you the difference. I know you all must be familiar with the chat GPT things and all, right? So whatever the questions that you are raising, let's say for example, here I asked multiple queries, understand this data, and I'm asking a query. The way that I'm questioning, the step by step instructions, whatever I am giving it to the large language model is prompt engineering. And whatever the understanding behind the scenes of how the model is learning, that is what about the generative AI. Prompt engineering is a part of generative AI. Without prompt engineering, we cannot do anything with the generative AI models. Okay. Prompt engineering is essential part of the generative AI to raise questions to the large language model and to get the desired answers. I hope I addressed your query, Tanmaya. Yes, great. Any more doubts from anyone?
Hello. Hello,
Yes.
Rajesh here. Actually, I'm
Hey,
working
hi,
as a
Rajesh.
IT, but I don't know coding. Actually, since 10 years I have experience in IT
Mm-hmm.
related, but things and all basic things also I don't know.
Okay. So
Supporting
that's,
related, I can survey for this.
yeah.
I
So
learn this prompt engineer. I can survey for next level.
yeah. So, okay. So as you're mentioning, you are new to coding. So right
Mm,
now, if you know the, I mean, in my class, as I mentioned, I will be starting from the Python also, I said, right? So
mm,
based on the
okay.
skills, you will get to know everything from the scratch. And you no need to worry about the coding part. If you know the basics, like, how can I code and all these things, it's enough to have, like, there are so many AI tools, as you have already know, that I'm just querying the model is providing me everything. So getting to know how to work with the large language models enough, with the having skills of the basic understanding how the model will work, how the code will be run. So in that kind of information, I'm going to explain in the upcoming classes with from the scratch with the Python coding. So you can survive once if you understand the subject, and also if you gain the technical skills. There are n number of AI tools. You no need to struggle for the coding. For sure, I can tell you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually,
Great.
that is the reason. Actually, I don't learn any coding language, but I'm working in IT engineer only, but supporting level, bug level tracking, like that.
No worries. You
Yeah.
can get to
That is
know
the
very
reason we can
much.
learn in the prompt engineer, we can survey like that. I'm joining this
Yes,
class.
you can.
I'm interested to take this classes, but if I can survey, not an issue. If it is not survey, it is not possible to join. That is
I
the reason.
understand. So as I mentioned, I will be teaching everything from the scratch with the Python. So you will get to know everything, and also I will provide you the capabilities to gain the code also. You no need to,
Okay.
as I mentioned, having the
Thank you.
basic
Thank you.
knowledge is enough. Yep. Thanks, Rajesh. I joined late. Can we get the recording session for this? Virish, yeah, you will get it, I guess. So is this course mainly on prompt engineering? Lavanya, no. It is generative AI along with the prompt engineering. Okay. Prompt engineering just a part of generative AI, guys. It's not completely on the prompt engineering. It's completely of the generative AI. Yeah. Will Mixtral be covered? Yes, I will be covering the open source models also, Kiran. Okay. Yep. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. In case if you guys are having any queries, you can raise me, or else if you want to connect with my team, so you can connect with my team. They will assist you on this. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you. If experience on React, and I have no dogs of the you mean, what do you mean by no dogs of the company, Abhishek? Sorry, I'm not clear about your query actually. Can you, if if you can elaborate more, that would help. Okay, so if you want to connect with personally, you can connect with our team. Our team will help you. So careers gap students eligible for this course? Yes, everyone is eligible. So as I mentioned, at the end, just gain the talent and start working on the things. It is enough. Generative AI is a very niche skill in the market. There are so many less talents in the market now. It is the right time to grab opportunity and get the good hikes. If you wait for next 6 to 7 months, there will be n number of audience in the market who will come up with the resume telling that, hey, I'm an expert in the generative AI. No. So that's what I'm telling. Learn it, start searching, grab the opportunity as early as possible. Generative AI roles, websites we can volunteer for generative. Uh, for the roles, I did not understand, Kiran.
Madam, Kiran here.
Hi.
Hi. What I was trying to say is there might be some roles where companies, like students can volunteer. There is no pay, but we get the experience, and the
Acha.
companies get some work done.
Got it. So in the LinkedIn, you will find n number of such kind of opportunity. Initially, they are looking for the candidates who can come as an intern. They can provide their talents. If they get select, they will take their from to their company also. Otherwise, if you can ask me, there are in the LinkedIn you can go and search, Kiran. Say if I find anything, I may share it in the class also. But yeah, I will check and will share it with you in the class maybe in the upcoming classes. Yep. All right. Any more queries from anyone? I have a task direct prompt engineering. Do you have sample prompts so that I can utilize? Will connect offline. So Anjaneya Shastri, sure. Yeah, you can connect with our team so that they will help you on this. What is the duration of this course? So Ramalakshmi, for the generative AI alone, it is 40 hours. But if you are including with the Python, if you want to join for the Python also, it may goes up to 60 hours of duration. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for your time.